all our participants and fellow CyberGurukul members to yet another need of our and definitely going to be an interesting session. And to highlight on cybersecurity in boardroom, journey from now to the secure next, we will be privileged to leverage the valuable insight and expertise of industry veteran and our esteemed speakers, Mr. Naseem Halder, Cyber Gurukul member and CISO at Echo General Insurance, and Mr. Vasudevan Nair, Cybersecurity Evangelist and Head IT cum CISO at Writer Corporation. Vasudevan and Naseem, we are looking forward to grab all amazing learnings today from you and highly appreciate your presence. But before the same, it's time to introduce and celebrate CG's second anniversary. Hus, can you take over for the same and request you to play the video, please?
Sure. Thank you so much, Vijaya. And yes, it is really exciting having Naseem and Vasudevan who will be, digging deeper into the cyber security, into the boardroom stories, so that we can have this journey from, now to the secure next. And really looking forward, excited to have you, Vasudevan, Naseem. But like we have shared with you and many, of the CG members here, this month, November 6th, has been the date where Cyber Gurukul has turned to. And I am actually happy to share some special moments, and mere words definitely cannot do the justice to this magic. So let me go ahead. Do ensure that you're able to hear the video.
"24 months, 24 sessions, thousands of professionals interaction." Yes, I'm talking about a community called CyberGurukul.
Today, we are celebrating the second anniversary of CyberGurukul. On this happiest occasion, I wish every member of CyberGurukul and the supporters and the well-wishers.
Hello everyone from the CyberGurukul community. We are 2 years young, and happy birthday to all of us.
Happy birthday to CyberGurukul. We are completing 2 years. Many congratulations.
Congratulations, CyberGurukul, for turning 2. Indeed a great day. Happy birthday to the young, sprawling cyber community.
Congratulations, CyberGurukul, on the second anniversary. It was a great 2 years of learning from the budding tech and cybersecurity professionals and from the consultants and partners.
Well, as you can see, celebration is definitely in the air. Cyber Gurukul turning 2 is a beautiful and memorable affair.
Members, today we are celebrating a second anniversary, stepping into third year of Cyber Gurukul.
A platform for thought leaders to share their experiences with students, professionals, and whomsoever wants to learn. Continuous learning is something which we strive on. A platform to enable, engage, and empower the community. That's what we look after.
This is the vendor-neutral, cybersecurity risk-centric and an interactive platform, which is built by the professionals and for the professionals in the tech and cyber community. And I'm happy to be part of such a dynamic group as a co-member and contributing back to the CIO, CISO and a CTO community.
CyberGurukul is a modern Gurukul where everyone is a learner and an enabler. CyberGurukul is a great platform wherein each one of us can exchange their experience and create an opportunity for the learners to learn the happenings in the cybersecurity domain.
And on this occasion, I truly wish just one thing, that we continue our fundamental path on which we are walking towards sharing the knowledge, giving back to the community.
And memorable.
This is the
where each one of the happening,
the complex technical jargons, and also with the art of storytelling, create a larger impact.
It's very satisfying that we are able to continue give it back to society. One of the popular knowledge forums where industry veterans and knowledge seekers continuously engage, enable, and empower.
CyberGurukul, I think born 2 years back and started its never-ending journey, and it's going to continue for a long time. All the best, CyberGurukul. Let us keep doing a good job and educate the people or community and public on cybersecurity.
CyberGurukul is the modern Gurukul, where learning is a forever motivation. Cybersecurity knits us together and our never-dying passion. Technology storytelling and consulting, defining our ambition. And of course, together enable, engage, and empower, being our powerful expression.
Started as a small group, now we have achieved hundreds of cyber experts and executives who are contributing this community and giving back to the industry, and looking forward the same contribution from the industry people and the leaders.
I guess, yeah, that's what I would want to congratulate once again to the entire team.
Congratulations once again, cheers, and all the best.
Thank you so much for your love and support. We are looking forward to contribute more. Thank you very much.
And I would like to congratulate the core leaders and all Cyber Gurukul community members for the second anniversary.
Do you think the celebrations are done? Well, more surprises are yet to come, so stay tuned. Well, this celebration did continue, the magic did continue, and this 2 years of together enable, engage, and empower was rejoiced, and some of us could have a get together on this special occasion, and it will be better if some of us could also share their thoughts, their wishes on the second anniversary. So I think I don't want to steal all the thunder here. Satish, why don't we start with you? We can have Melvin and others join in.
This was a wonderful experience. Okay, we keep meeting. We had a lots of e-meets for 24 months. Then suddenly we decided to meet. And I think the idea was how we can go more closer to each other and share the ideas. And actually, it was a very fruitful kind of meeting. And then maybe we'll go big way with the time.
Very much, Satish, and I think our infectious smiles also speaks louder than words. But yes, Melvin, I would love to hear your thoughts as well.
Yes, Harsh, thank you. Thank you for making me a part of CyberGurukul. Like, so I still remember, and I'm quite vibrant with my memories. Like, this started somewhere in the month of COVID. Like, I mean, everybody was locked in home, and CyberGurukul started. Like, I mean, if I remember correctly, so I was the first, one to have that, to be a privilege of being a speaker. So CyberGurukul is still pretty much fresh for me. It's a very important platform wherein, like Kiran, other guys already said, it's a platform for the people and by the people and of the people. Like, so without people, without, guys like you, Vijay, and the entire team, Kiran, Srinivas, like all. So these are the core members, will continue to be the core members of the CyberGurukul, I believe. But I mean, what is important is the learning. The journey is learning. So that is what I believe one of the biggest platform where, you just get excited to learn every day. Every session gives you a learning, and people are mostly accredited to it, or infatuated to it is the learning part. I still believe that every session which is there is pertinent to what we do in the industry today. You get some real sort of an examples, and you have veterans in the industries who are giving you that experience. Like, so it's a huge journey, it's a good journey, and I wish you all the best. And every people in CyberGurukul still continue to be a part of journey, regardless of where they are, and keep the balls rolling. That's what I can say. Thank you, Harsh.
Very much, Melvin. In fact, I think it's because you all are a part of the journey, that's how we have achieved some milestone that we can be proud of and excited about. And yes, learning is the excitement, and especially when veterans like you join the hands. And today we also have Naseem and Vasudevan helping us out with the further journey. Thank you so much for the wishes, Melvin. Looking forward to a few more before going ahead. Gaurav, why don't you take up?
Yeah, Harsh, thank you very much for I'm feeling very excited today being a part of the Cyber Gurukul. We have started this journey since COVID. Everything was locked out and we were facing lots of challenges, but it was a good initiative for the people who wanted to learn their knowledge, upgradation, everything. And this is a very good platform where we meet the people, industry experts who are sharing their knowledge, experience. So I'm very much thankful for entire Cyber Gurukul team, and I feel really proud to be part of this family. And since initially we are associated, and I feel uh, very thankful for entire family and all the events which we have and webinars, all the sessions till now, whatever have given the knowledge to entire the society, and this is really very needed. Unfortunately, today also we were facing some issues because of some uh, vulnerability in the some antivirus. So this kind of regular things are coming day to day, and this kind of community helps people to understand the challenges. And I'm really thankful to entire Cyber Gurukul and my wishes for this second year. And I hope many more years to come, and this group will come where more and more big, and people will associate it and they will get benefited from this knowledge sharing. Thank you very much to all the entire and best wishes to entire Cyber Gurukul team.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Yes, your kind wishes definitely matter a lot. It always keeps us motivated. And yes, many more to come because we have just started. So
Yes.
thank you so much for the wishes. I think we can keep on continuing with that. But yes, now comes another interesting part of the session, talking about today's session. But before we do we set the ball rolling, why don't we have few words from our esteemed speakers also, who have joined us today. So Vasudevan, let us start with you here first.
So first of all, congratulations for all the good work that you have done during the pandemic time, and also you are continuing now. And all the very best for your future endeavors, right? So it's I think I could see the positive vibe among the Cyber Gurukul members. I was also thinking that I could have been a part of it. So that is the kind of vibe that you are giving. So all the very best.
You're most welcome, Vasudevan. You're already part of the CG family, and thank you so much again for the wishes. And Naseem is already a member, so I think he's also feeling very excited. Naseem, please. Over to you.
Sure. First of all, congrats to all of us. And I believe, I became part of, different community, different membership of different group. But the best part about Cyber Gurukul, I would say, where, everybody is equal and everybody is, open to discuss their problem. That is the best, I would say for this platform. But I would say, to be very honest, I must say thanks to her, who take this initiative, try put maximum effort to encourage everybody, get it connected, and one best part I feel make it vendor neutral. That is really good, and this is really I must appreciate this effort. And one best part again I would say where everybody is sharing their knowledge, everybody is talking about their problem and without any fear. So I must say thanks to all of you to create this platform and maintaining this platform for last 2 years. I've seen a lot of platform has been created, but within few months might be that is not able to continue. But I would say hats off to all of us, I would say.
Indeed, it's a teamwork, and that's the reason we together enable, engage, empower. I think as anyone wants to add before I take up Surinder, he has raised his hand.
Hey, thanks, Harsh. Thank you for giving the opportunity to ask the question. Congratulations to all of you. I have a question for you specifically. How you managed all these things so far? Please.
Surinder, I would love to take this up, but let me do that, maybe one-to-one. This will be a very long answer to me. But
yes,
yeah, it's a teamwork. So I think divide and work definitely helps out. But there's a lovely long answer waiting for you just after the session for this.
Okay, I can understand. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone. It's, of course, the teamwork that has done the magic here. And now, without further delay, let us also, as a teamwork, set the ball rolling for our speakers so that then we can dig deeper into the story that we plan to cover today. Well, I think today actually, pictures and videos are doing the magic that we want to create. So if I talk about cyber security in the boardroom, then and now, I think these images definitely do the justice. I would like to open it up to all, how well do you relate? Maybe we can just have quick 2-3 thoughts before we move forward. You can
actually, this talks about the journey from on-prem to cloud. Okay, the moment we enter into an internet era, the security risk has gone up drastically. And we keep talking about privacy, privacy, and privacy. So if you want privacy, you need to have good policies to manage that privacy. And that is what it talks about. That means indirectly, it's very important for us to get the right security for the data which we are processing. So today, maybe the hardware is not important or connectivity is not important, but protecting data is getting more and more importance.
Very true.
So I think that is where the importance of, that's why it says that come to the boardroom, let us discuss.
Yes.
I really agree. I think Satish put it very well. And even if you look at from the initial IT security, we all started with IT security, but then there was the data security, privacy. So the lot of things have been moved from the traditional IT security, and rightly said by Satish, the way the digital transformation has really exploded using cloud. I think that has really given an opportunity that the people have all understand that it is not only about the technology security now, but it is about the whole ecosystem. Now, tech has become a business for most of the organization. So now no more we call is that insurance or banking organization. In fact, all have become the technology organization. So that's where I think there is a lot of attention which has been caused for the CISO professional or the technology professionals as well. I think they can't run the show with only business. They have to involve security and technology in the boardroom. Otherwise, the plans are not going to work out.
So basically, cost center to profit center. So cost.
Yeah.
I think we can always say that if you are more secure, you're into more profit. So actually, you can highlight your security measures taken to protect the customer data.
Yes, and the board is more mature. So security as a strategy. So without cyber security, whatever the profit center or growth, what we are saying, and too big to fail. Even if it's small players with a big ecosystem and everyone is connected due to digitalization. So, and the strategy part, board, more awareness among board members. This is
Adding to all you, I just want to say that today's world, I believe security no more a enabler, no more a additional support or additional service to the organization. It's become a feature. It's become a feature of the product. It's become a feature of your service. Regardless you are a service industry, you are a product industry, it does not matter. Whatever service you are providing, it's not secure. You can't provide that service. You can't do business if you have any product. Let's say it's an insurance product, it's a banking product, healthcare product, even it's a manufacturing product. If you don't have enough security around it, again it's going to be fail. So security become a feature. I think one of my fellow members already said it's no more a cost center anymore. It's become a profit center. As much as you are able to secure your services, as much as you are able to secure your product, you will make more profit. So it's become a business. And that is one of the reasons that today security being discussed in board, and everybody is curious about security. Now I believe all my board chairman, you don't need to go and explain them what is going on in a in a security domain, what is ransomware, you don't need to do. And I would say at the same time, our mainstream media and additional, community like we also create a good number, I would say good awareness between all of the, all of them. And that's also help every CISO, all of us to explain our strategy, to explain our, playbook over there.
I think, Naseem, of course, you along with Satish, Kiran and Vijaya very well explained this journey from being a cost center for the security and technology to be an enabler and now also a business feature in itself. And yes, awareness, the maturity among board of directors is definitely a story we are seeing today. And of course, why cybersecurity is the most important change that we all have liked. I think that is no more a question, right? So, and I think then what is the question is what we think about. Let me also, very in short, cover up the Gartner 2022 Board of Directors survey, in these terms, because today, why cybersecurity is not so much a question, what are the things that, all of us are focusing on. So according to this survey, the Board of Directors today, like we all have conquered, views cybersecurity as a business risk. It is it is a feature, and that's the reason the risk in the cyber means risk in the business. And 88% of these 300 almost respondents across the globe feels this. And everyone has also realized that we need to increase our appetite for the risk which is there. Today, it's no more the time when we can wait for the guaranteed returns, the visibility of what exactly is the situation to, take our next steps. So yes, we now need to, start accepting that we are going to live around this significant risk. And I'm sure that is something we all will discuss more on. In more around half of the organizations today, along with the CTOs or the CISO, CIOs, there are other, board of directors, CFO, also among the decision makers for these evolving technology investments. So yes, I think all of this goes in line with what we are discussing. And of course, this is no surprise that there are going to be more increase in the IT and technology spending. One of our friends very, beautifully, Kiran, mentioned that today it's not BFSI and, pharma and all of those. All are becoming technology companies today. And I guess that's one of the reasons that today, even a lot of IT initiatives are not going under some, central IT budgets. They're actually becoming part of the business functions. So this is the story where we'll be digging deeper, as well as step-by-step decode with our esteemed speakers on the when and how of cybersecurity. Of course, other critical parts being the business language and metrics, and the further cornerstones, the user productivity, the business continuity, and such, important jargons and, the things we keep on thinking about. So without further delay, let's now dig deeper into this story and, welcome Naseem over here. Naseem, you have already started the story. Why don't you cover a little more on the cybersecurity in the boardroom then and now?
So let me take it in a different way. Let me, I will take 30-40 more seconds to tell my own story. So that will I believe create a platform to discuss more. So if I recall my own story, when I was in class 6, 7, I got few of my seniors who helped me to understand, okay, what is bug boundary. And I'm talking about, I think, 2002, 2003, in that time. And somebody told me, Naseem, if you do this bug boundary, report it in a right way, you might get some bounty on it. So initial days, I would say there was a case I able to find some bug over there for one of that mobile ISP provider, and what we are doing, we are basically exploiting that service without paying. We are using internet, we are using SMS service. That is what we usually do. So that's a starting of my security journey. Then somebody told me, okay, you can do this OS top 10 and all this thing if you report this thing. So at that time, this bug boundary culture was only limited to US and European countries. If you do, you will get, some $10-15. And believe me, there are my first shot to bug boundary is around $100. And being a kid of class 6 or 7, $100 means a lot. I am clueless what I am going to do that money. So I discussed with my father, and father said, okay, fine, you just check one thing, it's legal or not. So that was the that was the starting point of security in India, right? And I'm just going back 15 years ago. And from there, things has been slowly changed. I got more into, I got more boundary. It's encouraging me to go beyond that. After engineering and all these things, I started my journey, and I again joined as a security engineer, where our work is very limited. Actually, to be very honest, nobody cares. I think okay. So nobody cares about security at that time. There was a team in IT team, which is governed by IT. If IT feel okay, there is some security checks required, just do it. So that was what security was started in India, what I have seen. Then over time, what I understand is become a compliance requirement. In 2010, I would say 10 to 13, 15, there are regulatory compliance come up, RBI, IRDA. So again, it's at that time it's become a kind of checklist. Hey, regulator asking for this, do that check and go ahead. From that checklist in 2018-19, I have seen all this startup culture started, and they took it very seriously at that time. Only the startup, I would say, and few big companies that who consider security become a feature, and they start adding this feature in their product or in their services. And COVID is boom. I would say COVID become the most biggest catalyst in security, I would say. And again, I would say that at the same time, the credit goes to all that black hat and gray hat people, because they have explored enough. They are they able to give that experience that if you are not if you don't have enough security on that, on your product, on your services, it can be misused. So that's a journey. I'd say from nobody, then you become an important person, then you start adding a feature, and COVID become one catalyst that which make sure without security you can't run your business, right? So that after that time, I have seen that the board, everybody is understand this thing, how much important cyber security, information security. Board start discussing, okay, what are the domain you have, how exactly, what is the control, what is your current risk posture, everything has been discussed. Now after that time, it was more as a discussion kind of thing, where they just want to know what are the control, what are the risk posture you are having. Then it's more into going into the matrix level. They are start counting. They want, okay, how exactly you're going to measure, what will be your score. So that giving a, I would say, one more gig to all of us, that how exactly you are going to check your posture. Okay, how exactly you are going to understand your risk appetite in terms of cyber security and technology risk. So that's become one of the main thing in that story part. So I just handing over to Vasudevan. So let him come back with some of that additional point. Then again I will add, or if anybody wants to add anything.
Thank you very much, Naseem. So you mentioned a lot of good points. So now we all know that why board members are more worried about cyber security. So I remember in earlier days, we have to actually run behind the board for budgets, right? Now there is a top-down push which is there. You tell me what are the things that we may have to budget in next year. So that is kind of awareness which has came to the board. So the main reason, we all know that the reason is the increase in attacks, right? So almost I would say that almost 50% is the kind of increase per year is the number of attacks if we consider. And board members very well know, and they can actually, if they see the figures, especially in terms of cost, they understand it better where the market is heading towards. So right now the figure stands at 7 trillion, right, which is a big amount. That is a kind of damage, worldwide damage, the cyber threats are causing, right? So that is why naturally all board members are aware about this kind of things, and nowadays it is a direct threat to the reputation, right? Once you've attacked, then you're gone. You may be out of business also. And the kind of regulations which is on top of it, be it GDPR today, I've seen that our government is also coming up with the data privacy and all. So that may happen maybe in February or so. That's what I heard. But so these are the things. Now, if the regulation is there, the laws are there, then see the kind of pressure on the board, right? And that will drill down, right? So, and we see, so these are the attack stories that I'm saying. So the attack is steadily increasing. The cost is steadily increasing. But what about defenders like us, right? So if you see those kind of skill sets, right? So I would say, in my personal opinion, the hackers are more profitable. The hacking is more profitable business than that of the defending. So that is how it is going on, right? So there is I remember that in 2013, I think I have read some report. It was actually 1 million job vacancies which was actually vacant, right? I exactly don't remember, but I think it is 2013. Right now, this is standing at 3.5 million. So this is the kind of skill set shortage that we're talking about. So it's too huge. Why I'm mentioning this is, this is one of the area that we all can play. So CyberGurukul initiative actually, would actually compensate, complement this particular thing, right? And we can actually encourage youngsters, right, to come into cybersecurity more. And there are various fields within the cybersecurity which is where more skill set shortage is there. So we can give some sort of guidance to youngsters, so that they can come forward and take these kind of opportunities. Now coming to the reasons, why this kind of abrupt increase is there. So we all know that it is because of COVID, right? So I think Naseem has mentioned, touched upon those kind of aspects that the kind of digitization which is actually accelerated during the COVID is the main cause of this kind of thing. So what had happened is, we were all within the secure network of the perimeter, and suddenly there was COVID, and suddenly all businesses pressurized the IT team to go for the work from home or maybe work from anywhere kind of environment. So there's a dilution in terms of not only policies but also in terms of the kind of tools that the organizations was ready with. So I think in ISO 27001, so there is control of teleworking, right? So mobile and teleworking. So in your SOA, you have to explicitly select that control. Right? Then you have to put, if it is there in the SOA, then you have to mention that, okay, what are the controls that you have put in? Then the auditors will come and audit. If you're not selecting that, it's well and good, right? So there are many organizations whose this teleworking control was not there, but suddenly everybody is on teleworking, right? Which we actually call it as work from home. So we were not, the most of the organizations were not even prepared to get into this kind of sudden kind of change. So that was one of the main reasons. So actually, hackers used these opportunities, and they earned from that. And as I mentioned earlier, there was skill set shortage. So we were struggling to find out sufficient skill set on the market, and also the trainings. If you take the training path, it may take longer time, right? So I don't think that in near future, at least in 5 years, this skill set shortage solved. So it will be there. So that is one of the areas that we can again focus on. So after this kind of perimeter going to people's home, then there are too many tools. I think that there are a lot of people, a lot of CISOs has implemented kind of tools to I'm not talking about this what is called VPNs and all, but advanced tools, serious tools which has been implemented in people's machines. So that also brought in a lot of other issues like the visibility issues, like too many tools sitting in your environment. The tools are not talking to each other. There are n number of vendors which has been brought in, right? So a lot of issues. Mainly CISOs actually lost visibility in terms of what is happening in our empires, right? So there are, I think, the solution. If we talk about the solutions, I'm just trying to cover as many solutions are also possible so that everybody can benefit on that. So solution side, so then this attack surface visibility vendors came in, they actually given some sort of visibility, but that really, okay, visibility has increased, but the problem is still there. So the integration of different tools is not there, right? So we are still working on those kind of, we are still having those kind of challenges and work is going on. And I don't think that there's a single vendor who can actually solve this problem. So I'm touching upon the vendor neutrality that you people have mentioned earlier. So it's really important that we as a platform stay as a vendor platform, right? Because one vendor cannot solve all these problems, right? There should be an ecosystem which would be today or tomorrow it will be developed, right? There may be matured frameworks in place, like the framework, a SASE framework, if you talk about. So Gartner is also coming up with various kind of frameworks, right? There are a number of frameworks available, but I think this is the latest one. That's why I mentioned it. So these kind of frameworks, most of the vendors are adapting towards it, and it's a very good thing that the ecosystem is getting developed for that, right? And these are all the things which will actually ease our life now. Another thing which happened and still happening is the cloud adoption, right? So if you talk about these kind of things, we cannot even, we have to mention about this, the cloud. So if I ask all of you a question that how prepared are we? Not only your organization, maybe if you talk about the industry, how prepared are we to migrate towards cloud? So we ask this question. So you people know that what would be the answer, right? Nobody says that it would be 100% prepared. So the homework which was required to be done before cloud migration, so the organization has not done it. So that's another big area which the attackers got benefited. On the other hand, the defender story, if you see, defenders also got a lot of opportunity because the organizations are already moved to cloud, and there are a lot of issues which is getting generated. So there are a lot of tools being generated. The Gartner, I think there is a special research group who are working on coining the terms on the cloud. So there are a lot of terms has been coined last year, this year as well. Yeah, so that's the aspect on the cloud. Now moving towards, I think I want to mention about data as well, right? So it is not even cloud. So cloud is some infra piece of it. If you talk about SASE and all, so you're covering most of the things starting from zero trust to SSE or whatever, right? The web content areas, etc., etc. So those tools are getting merged or getting into a single kind of platform or coordinated kind of platform is a good thing, and that the cloud vendors as well as we all would benefit out of it. And yeah, I have mentioned about the data. So the data, now the data is more critical, right? I think before that, I think I missed something in the sense, okay, cloud and then the identity, right? Yeah, so this is one of the major areas that I would like to talk about. So
Sure.
when we have moved so am I taking a lot of time or?
Please,
No,
please
no, no.
continue.
Please continue. Yeah.
Yeah, and also in between, if you want to interrupt and add something, please add.
No, no. I think
We can have,
whatever you told is perfectly correct. I know there are additional 2-3 points I thought I should add.
yeah, please, Naseem, then I'll continue. Please add those.
Yeah, that will actually help a lot. So if I do, I think we have around 20, 25, 30 people are there. So if we ask how many of we having a cybersecurity degree, we may say we have certain certification. Degree means any graduation or masters. I'm sure whoever today having a CISO role or having a CISO position or head of information security, nobody having at least graduation of cybersecurity. But today's world, people in today's world, there are colleges who offer graduation in cybersecurity. So whatever you told about that skill set or lack of skill set, that will be filled up. So that is one more requirement. I would say that world has been understand that thing, and they try to build that talent for that industry. Now, addition to the board part, there are two more stories. I think yesterday only I was read that privacy that privacy law one, and I've seen the minimum I think minimum penalty was 15 lakhs. So there is two things. One good aspect for all the CISOs that at least we can negotiate to that board that at least you have to pay 10% to us so that you will be secure enough. At the same time, we can also say at least you have to pay whatever the total penalty you have to pay at least 70 to 80% on that, or might be the full penalty amount or more than the penalty amount as a budget of your cyber security. The reason is very clear. So if you have a penalty, not only your loss of data or reputation, your business loss will be also there. So that one more good thing for us. And I know addition to the same thing, being a CISO, I have seen we also face a lot of pressure from a lot of senior management, right? And the same case happened for the Uber one. He just tried to hide the case, and over time he is the person who become a culprit, right? So that is again, I would say, one more encouragement for all the CISOs. They can raise their voice, they can say no to a lot of things to the board, and not only to the board, to the top management as well. So these 3 points I just thought to add whatever Mr. Vasudevan is saying, so it will be more concrete. So what do you, sir, again?
Naseem, just want to add something interesting.
Sure,
okay, we keep talking about academics, right? So the interesting part is, if you look at all the engineering syllabus today, they have got a separate paper on cybersecurity.
Yes.
Okay, I think that change has come in, I think, last I think say
4 to 5 years.
Yeah, 4 to 5 years. That is one part. Okay. Second part, I think, since I'm instrumental in conducting these lectures for many of the colleges, so I know that when people keep talking about coding, I said I think coding is not the end of the world in technology. I think you have to go beyond coding. And today, I think I keep talking about the opportunities. And not only this, I encourage them to do cyber security related courses like CISA. Okay.
Yes.
DNA. Okay, why don't you go into that area depending on your area of interest? If you're purely interested in audits, you can go into this process audit, technical audit. So all these things you can learn. I think that is one of the key things which we can add. Like, you can encourage your own team saying that why don't you do this course? That will give a value add to you.
Agree.
We keep depending on the academician institutes. But I think generally for institute also, it is not profit making center if you make too much specialization.
Agree, completely.
So I think we should encourage our own team that why don't you do this course? I think we'll see that they will get a sponsorship from the organization, or maybe we can refund this if you completely successfully complete the course.
Agree. I completely agree with you. Even that is one more thing. If I recall, there was a couple of requests to me, join as a guest lecturer, or come, give us a weekly lecture, and whatever you told, sir, And earlier, there is only one network paper, especially for the people who are into might be couple of IT people like could see and all these things is for even for mechanical engineering, electrical, they have those paper. Even today, they are also having the cybersecurity paper. I forget to mention, and thank you.
No, but I think
Complete
computer science, I'll tell you, I've taken lecture of CAIIB, Chartered Accountant.
yeah.
And there,
Yes.
cybersecurity is playing a key role in terms of the topic.
Agree,
So
sir.
even I think today for chartered accountant, he don't have to worry about the entries. He has to worry about the process, and he has to worry about the data which is keyed in.
Yes. And addition to there are some chartered account I know they are certified, CH.
CISAs.
And CISA, yeah, CISAs to there.
It's compulsory.
CISAs,
It's compulsory
yeah.
for them.
CISAs are there. People are also certified CEH, so they also got some level of hands-on as well.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I think I have actually given trainings to few faculties of Mumbai University. So that shows that the universities are keen on training their faculties. Right? So they need the experience of industry veterans as well as subject matter expertise to be transferred to them. So that in turn will benefit the student community. So these are I think good things, as well as if you see the kind of syllabus which is getting evolved, right? So most of the universities are actually changing their syllabus and text, because the cybersecurity requires a constant change in syllabus and new things needs to be added, right? So they are also following this kind of maybe if you talk about CISA or whatever. So they are actually keeps on updating their syllabus. That is one of the key things that the security industry requires. Otherwise, what's the point in teaching an old syllabus, right? So that's also happening, which is a very good thing.
Yeah. So additional to our discussion on the boardroom about cybersecurity, today, let's say we as a CISOs, we as a head of the department, when we are representing this department to the board is also saying, okay, Naseem, I'm good that you have all this technical solution. I'm good with all your process solution. What addition you can have? What are the additional tool you can have? So, I have seen, board is also look for a insurance product, like cyber insurance product. Like if you have a cyber insurance, it will also give a one more additional layer of control, not only technical and process control, you are also get a financial tool control. If something wrong happens, there are, there is a area for you to, I would say, minimize the damage or control the damage. And there are cases I have seen, in one or two of my friend, has been discussed the same thing, that they face a ransomware attack, and the attacker is asking for payment in cryptocurrencies. And I have seen, today's cyber insurance product, they are okay to do the payment in a cryptocurrency. So that kind of, I have seen, that kind of acceptance is already there in the market. And that is one more, new control is available. Not only that, financial and digital, so not only the process and digital control, you also have a financial control to protect your digital assets.
Yeah, and talked about the digital assets. So let's see. Now, I mentioned about the data. Now, the thing is that, the most important thing, just coming from the identity and access management thing also, like, so what is really important is to make sure that the right data is available to the right user at the right time on the right device, right? So this is what is in one word, this is what we need to do, right? So all the tools and technologies which is getting developed is to ensure this particular thing, right? We say it as context aware, or the kind of data protection or masking, whatever tool which we have is actually moving towards this. This is one trend that I could see which is happening in the market.
Yeah, I completely agree. Even today, I will not take the name. There, I think somebody wants to add something. I'm sorry, I missed who wants to add. Okay,
I think it was
no
just
issue.
a disturbance. Yeah, please continue.
No problem. So what I have seen, there are a few cases where independent directors are also asking, hey, can we have one more independent director who is coming from pure technology background, so that they can understand the cyber security or technology discussion. So the problem is that most of the cases we have seen, this independent directors are mostly are coming from financial background. If it's an insurance company, then they are coming from actuarial background. If it's a banking company, then, or banking industry, then it's a one guy who is coming from pure banking or core banking. Guy is coming over there, right? So now I've seen in even in independent director, there are few companies who try to add CIOs, CISOs to their independent director, or they're offering actually independent directorship to their board. So that is again, I would say, one good thing, where this security community, security community has make the mark, to that industry, that how critical it is. And I believe also the acceptability has been increased. Today, every company know they have a security community, as they have a security team or security department who take care of certain things. And I have seen, reporting is also increased. Even government has taken, I would say, various new initiative. Now I think they launch a one hotline number to, if you face any issue, you can directly call out to them. Even I have seen, all of my banking, CISO friends, they are talking about, they have, one dedicated team, along with the GRC team, who always connect with the regulator. What are the new changes, they are offering, or what are the new changes coming, especially for the fintech and insurtech industries. In that case, regulator is asking a lot of new things. This startup world actually, to build the product and to encourage the scalability and high speed product development. Some cases, we have experience where such security has been compromised. Now regulator is also very much keen to push enough, so that this security should not get compromised. And there are certain more cases, I think, which opens the eyes for the which open the eyes of the world. If we consider that, Cambridge Analytica, that is one case. And today, I would say, I would take little bit, proud of it. Earlier, what happened, if any hacking or anything wrong happened, there are cases we always see, or we always get this kind of news that, hey, there are some work has been done, and this work has been done from especially Russia, Ukraine, East European countries, or might be African countries. So I got couple of news from couple of sources where now security attacks is outsourced to India. So that showcase our capability has been increased. And there are cases where our government, there are I would say, our foreign governments are claim that, hey, we are getting attacked from India.
Yes.
So I am not sure it's correct or not, or it's just a fake news, but that kind of news is also coming up. So that showcase our capability in terms of security as a nation. I just want to add, that is one more thing where we have seen people are not talking about weapon, not talking about Air Force, Navy. They are also talking about cyber attack, or I would say they are talking about state-sponsored cyber attack.
Yes.
So that's the maturity, or that's
I think the kind of 0 days coming up, nowadays, which actually shows this kind of trends very well, right? And most of the things are actually in the media, right? Because that's very big attacks has been discussed. And organizations, I see, board is also aware about all those things. Nowadays we have tools and technologies to protect most of the kind of non-attacks. So what about 0 days, right? So if you want to protect a 0 day, what to do? What are the things that we need to do, right? This is one of the worry that all the board members will be having. And I think that is why there is huge funding coming up, for the kind of tool adoption, be it XDR, EDR, XDR kind of things, right? Maybe anti-ransomware kind of tools, right? And also, earlier there was a BAPT and all the stuff is there, but nowadays people are investing into kind of red teaming, threat hunting, etc., etc. So these are, so we don't need to push too much to get those budgets. They're aware and also giving the funding. So organizations are in my organization is also going and currently conducting an assessment. So it's a complete assessment, end-to-end assessment that we are doing. And we want to know what exactly would be the kind of roadmap, at least for the next 3 years or 5 years, how we would be protected. So these are the real kind of worry that all the board members is having, especially if you talk about the promoters, it's there. So now people are more concerned about spreading the awareness to the organization, like promoting a kind of cyber culture, security culture, etc. So these kind of things, I know that previously it requires a lot of push from IT side or maybe the CISO side to do all these things. Now there's a top-down push, and it's becoming very easy that the function heads has to do all these things, and they have to go through all this awareness training, etc. And otherwise, there would be a KPI sitting in their their thing, and they have to satisfy that. So these are the kind of very positive things which is there, and which is recently came up. Especially the post-pandemic kind of.
Addition to there are a couple of new requirement I have seen nowadays. If any VC any VC is coming to invest, they also have a checklist called cybersecurity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So before putting that money, they just want to know, okay, I understand that you have the capability to build the product. What is your capability to protect the product also?
Yes.
So that is one more requirement. I have seen people are coming and they are building. And I have seen a few more things. Whatever you have said, it's rightly said, that culture has been changed nowadays. Having a security culture is not only that your responsibility as a CISO's responsibility or the IT guy's responsibility. I've seen HR also doing a lot of things, and people understand the insights or the derivative of the data is too important to protect the business. So those things are adding value to that department and to that team, and they are also getting encouraged. Nowadays I think in the cloud side we talk a lot about that cloud, right? So we usually do, and so our structure, our implementing a control is also getting changed. Earlier we feel that okay, if we have a user ID password, it's fine. Now I can bet any CISOs, any head of the department is not happy with only one control. So we also have multi-layer of control, not only user ID, password. Let's have a second factor. Let's have a zero trust. If I can consider only the access management part. And if we think about the cloud side, we are saying okay, you are doing a secure code review, you are doing a let's say BAPT, additionally application security, product security. Now we are also asking, okay, can we outsource this red trimming? Or there are mature organizations who have a DevSecOps pipeline in the process. So every code before go to production, it has to thoroughly check. So that's the maturities come up in this domain.
No, I think I have never heard. Talking of 5 years before, we never heard about senior leaders talking about security by design, etc. Right? So right nowadays, senior leaders, senior business leaders are talking about security by design. The product team comes up and presents something, and they ask the question, whether it is secure or not. What is the design?
Yeah.
Have you considered it in the design aspect? So
Yes,
these are the maturity.
Yes, I completely agree. Even every architecture, they just want to say, okay, just go to security, discuss this thing, then we'll take it up. So I think we discuss a lot. I think there are a lot of people. I think if anybody has anything to add or any question, any specific things, if people want to discuss, I think we are already on time. So next 30 seconds we'll know it if anybody wants to add anything.
We've seen CFO to be CEO, CTO also into CEO. So I guess time is not far when CISOs are becoming the CEO. Okay, so business talk about security, and many of us in security are talking business. So that is the great shift in the approach.
Yeah, completely agree with you, Vijay. And I've seen, there are a lot of our friends who started as I would say, CISO, and at least they become CIO level, more, I'd say that is already done. And now the CEO post is, something we are targeting.
We can see lots of
I think
business.
Naseem, you talked about the board members. There are subject matter expertise in board, so we can hope one day
Absolutely.
we could become a board member.
Okay,
So
we have
we-
talked about skill. I guess one question is there from Sagar. Is cloud services killing cybersecurity professional jobs?
I would say I would say no. I would say it's encouraging. See,
Yes.
somebody who is in cloud or somebody who is in DevOps, they can think or they, there is a three basic thing for cybersecurity, CIA, and for this DevOps or infra guys, they only care about the A part. For them it's very difficult to understand the CIA. So till the time the CIA is it's critical and it's important, cybersecurity job are safe, and it's have a good future, what I feel.
Can I answer it as a career counselor?
Sure, sir, sure. Over to you.
My answer is very simple. That challenges are going to come unless you upgrade to manage those clouds. Cloud security was a myth earlier. Today, I think it's going to be part and parcel of life. So you need to learn those terminologies. So you're not talking about rocket science today. All these are what we have practiced. Only thing is the terminology has changed. So instead of things are available on ground, they are available on the cloud. They came with the different names. So only thing is you need to identify which names have come to this particular technology, learn them and implement them. I think there is no threat to any of the roles unless if you are not upgraded yourself.
Yeah, even you are in cloud and whatever it is, if you're not upgrading, you are in a big time problem will be there. I completely agree with you. I think there are any more, I'm sure we'll get more comment from others.
We can take more questions. We'll extend the session for another 10 minutes. I also have something to say. It has been the first time that for so many minutes I was quiet. Naseem and Vasudevan, you both even took up my job of moderating today. I just didn't have to intervene at all. You guys made it so smooth, but I'll have to take care that both of you I do not invite together next time. But I must say, it's like
Is it positive or
extensive.
negative?
How do you take it up?
Good, thanks for the compliment.
No,
It is applicable to everybody. So you have to upgrade
yes.
yourself, and you should learn how to intervene when the interaction is going on.
Satish, you always play the devil's advocate. I love it.
Job.
Satish always plays the devil's advocate, which is what I love. So we can have more queries for another 5-7 minutes. Let me also take up the takeaway session this time, since you have taken my part. So let me take your part, Naseem and Vasudevan, and try to sum up so much of learning, so much of amazing inputs, analogies. I think I'm tired writing, but I think the learning continues. So at least few things which I could note, I'll quickly take it up. So I think it was amazing to start the journey of Naseem, entering into security, but then also talking about the journey of cybersecurity itself in the industry, from those basic security checks to the compliance checklist to actually now, we're talking after COVID becoming a catalyst, security by design, security by culture, and how it can be security can be a business enabler to the business feature. So I think that was an amazing start to the session. Yes, we did dig deeper into the how and when of cybersecurity, but that is what the cybersecurity in the boardroom is all about today. It's no more about the why, because that awareness, that maturity, that cybersecurity, how critical it is, has come up, because it's a top-down approach for the discussions and budgeting, like even Vasudevan had mentioned. And like Naseem mentioned, the risk posture, the control, the matrix is what is discussed today, the cyber risk scores. And I think Naseem did in between give one very good suggestion of those penalties as one of the metrics that can be used to build the case. Let me also add on the challenges that Vasudevan then quite in detail mentioned to us. For example, those 3S, the siloed visibility that we see today, the skill shortage, and of course the sophisticated threats. Cyber crimes today is the whopping, like he said, $7 trillion economy just after US and China. So yes, I think in between we had some detailed discussion also on how cyber crimes today is no more just an organized business, but a state-sponsored kind of a cyber warfare. So I think quite extensive discussion out there. Challenges, of course, continues with those alerts, tool overloads, kind of compliances which are getting stricter and stricter. Hybrid work culture, and the user productivity, suiting the business with that. The security with that is equally critical. And of course, digitization, I can say, has been both an enabler as well as, created the next set of challenges for security. And I think that's the relation I think husband and wife are always going to have. And I think we also had quite a bit of discussion in when and how of the cybersecurity, with some important terminology discussed in detail in terms of the data privacy, XDR, MFA, that is multi-factor authentication, the source code review, red teaming, threat hunting, and the important frameworks like SSE, ZTA, the multi-layer defense that we continuously talk about today. DevSecOps, yes, when of cybersecurity, very importantly covered in that. And let's not forget that for the organization today, reputation plus regulation is what actually helps them recognize cybersecurity incidents. Yes, road ahead was also discussed quite in details. I think there were a lot of interesting points, both in terms of people, how we can incentivize, the organization can incentivize for the security certifications, or maybe to developing those skill sets. We can also have various other kind of awareness campaigns. Cyber insurance, I think, another added layer of security, which can also, help us make a little comfortable in this, era of the significant risk. People also covering increase in the tech-based board of directors, which I think Naseem had mentioned, very interesting point. In terms of the processes or the team, you can say having a dedicated team to interact with the regulators and those latest developments, because we all, at the end, need to make our relation with regulators again stronger. Again, the husband and wife kind of a relation. You can't live without that, right? So maybe that is equally critical. And maybe, yes, we can also follow a little on those startups as well as big organizations who are the early adopters of this security as a feature, like again, Naseem had mentioned. And yes, I think, and of course, the corners of the framework, cybersecurity framework, user and identity, data, and the cloud, which Vasudevan mentioned. These are the keywords which we should not forget. There are some more points, but I think this should be it from my side, and a very, very interesting session. In fact, I just felt that, we are already having that mock session of cybersecurity in the boardroom. I could not create that environment, but today, Naseem and Vasudevan, thanks to you guys, we really had amazing, vibes in that session of the actual boardroom. Not from the negative, just the positive part.
It should be, there are certain, negative things should be there. So that negative, you just need to know how exactly you're going to use those things, like, this penalty. You have to, you have to fear, you have to create that fear, then only you will, get that additional attention. So that is also required. I think there is one more question from Sagar. Any suggestion for your youth interested towards cybersecurity between gap, skill, okay, real work? I would say just try, there are a lot of motivation is there in cybersecurity domain. Try to grab those motivation. I would say, like cricket, we say, right, first 2-3 overs, just, see the pitch, see the ball, how it's swinging, how the pitch is behaving. In similar way, how, cybersecurity also, how this domain it is, what are the benefits, what are the problems. Try to finalize only one problem. Let's say you want to be, pen test side or bug bounty side. Only, I would say masters only one thing. Let's say, SQL injection. Try to find out SQL injection. Just one thing. Once you will have the master, then look for the, second thing might be broken authentication or whatever it is. Try to do a master of at least one technology, one thing where nobody can challenge you. I have seen, a lot of the cases people know a number of things, but the masters are not there. So at least try to have a masters for 1 or 2 or 3, domain or technologies. That would be suggestion from mine. I'm sure SM and Vasudev have all together different. I'm sure they will add some more point over there.
Yeah, you rightly said, Naseem. You have mentioned all those things. Further.
And I'll just add one thing here. You can also continue following Cyber Gurukul, where the technical skill set as well as the storytelling and the consulting portion is something that we try to focus to bridge the skill set. This is a constant platform for learning, but as well as relearning and reskilling, which we discussed in between as well. I hope that works, Naseem.
Yeah, and one more thing, I have experienced or I have seen earlier what happened, there are, people who will encourage you to, understand that regulatory compliance is requirement. And then there was a people who are, pure security architecture who will do that, technical architecture. Now I have seen there are people in between, there are breach has been already created who understand regulatory framework, who also understand the security architecture. So that is something really good. Okay, I think Vijay also already given that CyberGurukul email ID for any suggestion, any feedback. I think we already spilled up 10-11 minutes, so should not bother anybody more. It's Saturday. So over to you, Harsh.
So I think there was some very interesting suggestions now also how we can upgrade and continue. And Naseem, don't worry, we usually exceed by 10 to 15 minutes because that's the intent so that we can get the best of and leverage your experience for the team out here. All of us are constant learners and want to learn from enablers like you. So yes, purpose well served. Naseem, Vasudevan, very, very interesting suggestions and inputs, and there's so many takeaways. Like I said, it definitely would not have been over, but I really do not want to end this session, but yes, in interest of time, we have to do that. And thank you everyone for joining us on a Saturday evening. Vijaya, Satish, last thoughts from you before we close up. And once again, Vasudevan, Naseem, amazing session, I must say that.
You have to address Surendra. I guess if you quickly do it in 30 seconds. Initially, we said how you are able to manage.
I think that is something I'll call him and I'll discuss that later.
So that's basically paid
That's a secret which I don't share with everyone. I used to call and ask me.
You want to keep it as a secret,
I can discuss on call. That's a secret I keep.
No, I believe that's a paid consulting, Harsh will be going to
do. Yes, paid consulting. Naseem, thanks for another suggestion. I'll actually do it that way.
Thank you so much, Nadeem.
Anyway, thank you guys. Thanks for hearing us and giving your time. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you so much. Satish, anything ending?
No, I think nothing more to add. But interesting part is we are completely out of the boxes and we are more into the solution kind of work. Okay, so we keep talking about, so data privacy is a buzzword now. I think that is what we keep talking about. Okay, we don't talk about the configuration of the hardware because if you want to buy a hardware, you can go online, you can buy. But the security, actually, one has to identify what kind of security you are looking for. So I think one of the biggest problem today in industry is that I think security is a buzzword and everybody wants everything to secure. Yes, but what to secure, how to secure is very key. And once we learn that, I think then you become a good security service provider.
Yes, I agree. And even today, I have seen one more thing. Security is also playing a good role in digital fraud.
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
Now the product, there are feature, I've seen, product manager is coming to security team and saying, hey, I have a, let's say, Netflix or, Hotstar. I want to secure my licensing. What should be that, product feature you want, or, what is the security feature you want this product? So they are saying that, okay, if there is a location change, there is IP, you can correlate and you can disconnect. Those things are there. Even password is shared. So that is something good, skin sharing feature. Those things they are adding, and it's helping each other.
Yeah, security is not a technical word today. It's for everybody. Yeah. It's for non-technical as well as technical. So it's a business word rather than a technology word.
Yes.
Very much so. Yes, stay in touch with your objective and the road ahead. But this is definitely a constant learning. We will be continuing to do that with many more sessions to come. So have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Naseem, Vasudevan, and thank you all the Cyber Gurukul members for joining us today. Thank you
Thanks,
so
thanks.
much. Take
Thank you.
care.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.